Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Anecdotal Economist, and today we're going to strongman / steelman the precious metal of silver. Now, I've talked many times on this channel before about how I don't have an intro, and I'm going to keep doing that for just a little bit longer because, well, by popular demand, we're not making one. So having said that, if you don't know, steel manning or straw manning is a great way to challenge your beliefs when it comes to something. The idea is that you make both sides of the argument to yourself. In other words, you say, I'm going to tell myself when I steel man it, I'm going to make the best possible argument for why I should buy silver. And by the way, I'm going to do this for gold in the coming next few videos as well. But today's focus is going to be silver. I think it's very in vogue right now. The price bouncing all over the place. The world is on fire. The winds of change are blowing. And so it's a good time to reevaluate your arguments. Now, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do a straw man of silver. Now, a straw man would be the idea that we're going to... Hey, Google, what's the definition of straw man? You're going to intentionally misrepresent the proposition. So the idea, in this case, or at least for the purposes of this video with the straw man, is we're just going to try to make a negative argument. Even though I don't believe it, clearly I think you should buy silver, I'm going to try to make the argument that you should not. And hopefully by the end of this video, we will have a much better understanding of why we're buying silver in the current environment, or if we should even do that. And we're also, of course, at the end of the video, going to do our usual review. So the steel man argument, I think, should come second. Let's start with the bad news. I'm more of a bad news kind of guy. So let's talk about the straw man first. And I think that the most common and probably best argument for why you should not buy silver actually comes from people who have bought silver and been underwater for a long period of time. This metal's going nowhere. It goes down. If you buy it, you'll regret it. I see it in the comments all the time. You'll regret it if you buy it. And I think that that argument is correct. If you buy silver expecting it to change your life, expecting it to explode in price, specifically change your life by exploding in price, make you rich, it'd be the equivalent of winning the lottery, but of course you were smart because you bought it when it was cheap, like buying Apple when it was $1 a share in the 90s. If that's what you're waiting for, I think that that argument is correct. That's a great straw man, right? If you buy it high and sell it low, you lose. Well, duh, yes, that's true of literally any asset, but I don't think that's the argument that the majority of people are making. Okay, so I think that's pretty simple and straightforward. If you've got other arguments for why you shouldn't buy silver, go ahead and throw it in the comments. I mean, there's some real basic ones, of course. That would be things like don't go into debt and other common sense things. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about sort of an argument that may have a ring of truth of why you should not buy silver. And that would be my straw man. Don't buy this if you think it's going to make you rich. Simply, there may be a time when that is true, but I can promise you, if you're watching my YouTube channel, you will not be in the know, unless you're Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, if you're here, bro, leave me a comment. I'd really appreciate it. But I'm quite confident Warren Buffett is not watching this. Even though he has owned silver in the past, he trades it. He's not a physical holder of silver. And by the way, I didn't mention that at the beginning of the video. Of course, we are specifically talking about buying it physically. We're not talking about ETFs or putting it, thousands and thousands of ounces in a storage vault somewhere. We're talking about coins, bars, the things that you see on this channel. So I think that's it. That's the argument, right? Don't be foolish. But what would be the steel man argument for silver? Well, in my case, I've talked about this on this channel before, but it's as simple as this. Most of you know that I think gold is a better metal than silver. Just comes in smaller denominations. It's much easier to purchase. And if you are buying it in place of something that is a waste, then it's a good buy. And I'll have to do another video soon. Some of you could look up the video I did where I compared the cost of silver and gold to buying a car. And it's a pretty simple calculation. Silver on average rises, I believe, a little less than 7% a year. I can't remember the numbers anymore. Say it's about 5% a year. And you pay a 20% premium. So after 3 to 5 years, we'll call it, you're roughly home free. Okay, you break even after 3 to 5 years. Now, you think of that against anything else you would buy, and you are not going to be home free if it's losing more than 5% a year. So you buy a car, you lose 20%, and you continue to lose money, silver's a better buy. You're buying unhealthy food that makes you fat. You're buying drinks that make you sick, silver's a better buy. If you're going to invest the money into a mutual fund, well, I don't have a high opinion of mutual funds, but let's say that it's a mutual fund that is going to get 5% a year. Let me just say, you'd have an argument. So that would be my first piece of advice for a steel man for this channel for silver, would be that it's a great way to save money if you're putting it against other vices. Smoking, drinking, going out to eat fast food, whatever it is, this is a great way to beat your vices. It absolutely is. You can include the premium, you include the shipping cost, you can include losing money on collectibles like someone did for me with this beautiful St. Helena coin, whatever you want. That's a great steel man. I don't think there's anyone who is, to quote Thousandaire Radio, upper poor. If you're upper poor, silver makes sense. It's the money of gentlemen, as they say. Now, what would be the other steel man? Well, the other steel man is this case where silver will go up. And in that case, if silver becomes a monetary asset again, meaning that it is used as actual money, or at the very least stored by central banks, and let's just say I've been hearing rumors that it is likely to be used in some countries' central banks. That's a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. If silver is used as money again, and I would like to add to that, I believe silver will be used as money again. It is a portion, not a major reason, but it is a partial reason why I own silver. My steel man is that if silver is used as money again, it will undoubtedly outperform gold. It will do very good things, and it might actually make you rich in that case. Now, I will say, I think that's a small chance, and I think you're gonna be waiting a long time before something like that happens, but I really, truly believe that's going to happen. Now, you may notice that I did not mention something like new industrial uses for silver in either the steel man or the straw man argument. There's a reason for that. I do not believe that uses of silver in batteries or windmills, or if there's some new nuclear technology discovered, can really be factored in. That's just a cyclical thing. It's not the kind of thing that's going to be life-changing, like saving silver and beating a bad habit, or silver being used as money. Those are the two major steel mans for silver, and the straw man is, the truth is, it's just not that great of an investment. It's not going to make you rich. And so I'd love to hear if you guys have any good steel man or straw man arguments, throw them in the comments. But I am going to get on to the review portion of this video, and today I have got my favorite bullion coin. Now, if you can't tell, there's nothing better than the side profile of this bullion coin. It looks like actual pirate treasure because it is not a reeded edge. It is a beautiful, smooth edge. I'm talking, of course, about the Philharmonic. The only downside, if you can't tell, is that it's very notorious for fingerprints. Because it is so smooth, you can see my fingerprints all over the edges. I used to touch these with my bare hands. I have since stopped. I will someday clean that off. It can be cleaned. It's no different than a mirror. When you touch a mirror, you get fingerprints on it. And that's how shiny this silver is. Now, why is this my favorite bullion coin? I have to say a big portion is because of the smooth edge. I'm not a musician, but I appreciate the design. I think it's a nice design on this side. You compare that to the Queen, I'll call this the weaker side of the coin. The Philharmonic. Let's see if we can get one without milk spots. One downside to this coin is the milk spots. Okay, this one seems to be a little better. The majority of them do have milk spots. That is kind of one of the downsides. You'll find that with the majority of coins. Very few are better. Basically, maples are the best, eagles are the second best. Everything else pretty much has milk spots when you talk to lower end, lower cost bullion coins. That's what these are to me. And so again, I love the instrument design. If I compare that to the Queen, I think it's fantastic. It's not the best out there, but it's pretty good. It's cool, it's fancy, gives you that Austria kind of feel, sound of music, that kind of thing. So that's good enough, but when we flip to the other side, this reminds me of the White House. I know it is not the White House, I get it. I think they say it's a concert hall. I think it looks more like a bank, personally. I Googled it, it is called the Golden Hall, so there you go, it is a music hall. But it really is a cool design. And the thing about these is they're always very competitively priced. I mean, maybe there's exceptions, but I've always seen these to be the cheapest, what I would call a high-end sovereign bullion coin that there is. You can often get them very close to spot. You can often get them for the same price as a Buffalo, at least in the markets that I'm in. So I think these are really cool. Absolutely one of my favorite coins. And I could, beat a dead horse. What year is this one? 2022. At the end of the day, the number one thing about this coin for me is that when you lay a bunch of them together, gotta do it one more time, like this, there just is nothing cooler than a big, shiny thing of pirate treasure. And that's basically what you're getting there. So I'm gonna have to switch out a coin, and I think we've been looking at this Kookaburra way too long. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm not saying the Philharmonic beats the Kookaburra. In fact, there's no question that it does not. But the fact that it's even in the running, the fact that I have to sit here and compare them side by side, well, pretty good for a bullion coin. So I'm gonna stick that right where it belongs. And while we're closing out, we'll get one last look at this Kookaburra. I just wanna say to all my viewers that make it through these reviews, I appreciate you, because I know you're few and far between. If you wanna support the channel, but you don't know what to say, today's word will be golden haul. I guess that's 2 words. You can pick either one or both, up to you. With that, that's my 2 ounces worth. This has been The Anecdotal Economist. Thanks for watching. Remember, I'm pulling for you, and we're all in this together.
Kilogram, you're the dragon, you're the rabbit.
Okay, let's look at the money side now. Watch as I pull this bad boy out of here. Absolutely stunning once you get it out of the case. Feeling the weight of this in my hand, oh, that's such a good feeling.
I never had enough gold.